So let's talk about inspections. I have a lady that has booked somebody in on Friday to come and do an inspection on the Jeep Wrangler. Now, I've experienced these inspections before. Last time was on my 106 Rally when the guy paid something like 500 odd pounds to get an inspection done on my 1994 106 Rally, which was being sold at half the price of a restored one, 7 grand rather than 14 grand. And the guy pulled it to pieces, and then the guy didn't buy it. So this lady's sending someone down to do an inspection of the Jeep Wrangler. Now, I have sent her an email and said, I'm not sure what your intention of the inspection is, and you're welcome to have one done, but this is 23 years old, and it's not a restored example. If it was, it would be, 10 grand plus, 15 grand plus. It's a good runner, driver, solid car. So as long as that's the intention of your inspection, it's worth doing. If you're expecting anything else, then I would recommend you, to be honest, go and look at a different vehicle at a higher price point that's newer, because otherwise you're going to be wasting your money on the inspection. I know to a lot of people that would sound like, you're trying to avoid the inspection. No, you're welcome to the inspection. It's no problem at all. The cars have always sold. Even if someone has done an inspection and they've got a problem with the cars, have always sold. But you've got to be realistic about what you're getting an inspection done on. If you're going to be buying an M3, you're going to be buying something sports, something prestige, something more expensive, and you're going to distance buy it, probably makes total sense. Something like this, unless you're sending a classic specialist, doesn't make an awful lot of sense. The inspector will no doubt find things that he would recommend that could be replaced, that don't make the vehicle unfit for purpose, they don't make it unreliable, they don't make it unsafe. There'll be lots of little bits and bobs that he could recommend could be done, but we're not restoring the car, we're selling it as it is. So you could end up with quite a list of things that, I don't think it would really need doing. And the reality is, if you sent someone out to inspect all of these, you'd probably spend the best price of one of these Jeeps before you found one that, well, you wouldn't find one. You wouldn't find one that came back perfect. You just wouldn't, unless you're buying a new one or a fully restored one. So you could end up spending the sort of 5 or 6 grand I'm asking for that Jeep, getting eight or nine inspections done, and still end up with no car at the end of it. So just be realistic about what you're looking to get inspections done on. So I shall report back if and when that happens, and we'll see what the score is, because we'll see what she comes back with on the email. So back on the Astra, we only did about half day on it yesterday, got the gearbox back in this morning. I rolled about underneath. Pete dropped various tools onto my crotch. A 1/4 inch bar and a light so far. So yeah, beautiful work by him there. So yeah, hopefully we'll get that all nipped up today, finished off today. We've got some other bits coming up which replace that water pipe fitting. And we'll obviously get the subframe back in, as a bullseye taking that out in the first place. So yeah, like I say, hopefully we'll get all this nipped up today. We've got fresh gearbox oil coming for it as well. We've obviously got the brand new clutch in it and the brand new slave in it. All good to go. So Astra is all back together. We've checked the gearbox, it's working fine, but we've been it's all been called to a halt by stupidest reason ever. The new inlet pipe here for the hose has a little clip connector at the top here. So we've got the new one here. The old pipe here, we're getting a leak from in here, and we're not sure whether, because this is aftermarket, we need to get an aftermarket pipe, or whether this is just got old and doesn't really seal very well anymore, and we need to get a new one of these pipes. But at the moment we can't run it up because it's just peeing coolant out there, which is really frustrating. We could have got a genuine one, but I'm not entirely sure the pipe isn't the issue. Won't really know, so I've got to find out tomorrow morning whether we can get a pipe for it or not. But yeah, so we started up, running it through the gears, and it was all fine. So that is all together. So I'm here at a windy Barnstable train station where I've just dropped off a couple of our subscribers. I didn't ask to use their name, so I won't. Who've sold me their lovely Vitara, which looks almost blue on this camera when I'm looking at it, but it's a turquoise. Lovely little Suzuki Vitara. You guys know I love Suzukis. Only 38,000 miles with a full service history. Just been MOT'd, advisory free. and it's as per normal with our subscribers, exactly as described, in lovely condition. So they're hopping on the train heading back to where are they heading back to? I know it's up country near London, wasn't it, I think. So thanks ever so much, guys, for bringing the car down for me and thinking of me when you were looking to sell it. Really do appreciate it. It's a lovely little car condition wise. We'll have a look at it when we get back at the unit. I'm going to drive back there now. I won't clog up the car park doing walk around videos, but yeah, it's in lovely condition. Being a Suzuki, we know it's probably going to be pretty bulletproof. Touch wood. So let's get it back. So here's the Vitara, and it is a fantastic example. Again, massive thanks to our subscriber for thinking of me when it came to sell it. It's a really nice turquoise with the gunmetal alloys. Fantastic condition, really is. There is not really a mark on the bodywork of this car, and the alloys are bang on as well. Yeah, no dings, no dents, nothing really at all on the car. Really well cared for. Full service history. It's got an advisory free MOT on it. Interior is bang on. The only bit of wear is that tiny little bit on the push button on the chrome there. Maybe a little bit of wrap or something to tidy that up. But that literally, if you're being ultra picky, that is the only thing you'd be able to find on it. Drove back lovely. We've got another subscriber coming in tomorrow, actually. We've got a Yaris coming in tomorrow, an automatic Yaris. So yeah, another subscriber by there. They're also driving down to me, and then I think I'm dropping them back. But yeah, what a lovely little car. We love Suzukis because it's so simple. So simple. There's not a lot of extra gubbins on them to go wrong. They're very under the radar, I think, Suzukis, for reliability. These slightly older ones, very much under the radar. As long as the underbody is good and clean on them, the mechanicals they pretty much last forever. Today I am accompanied by Two Glasses Pete once again, who's just done he's done an oil and filter change for me on the i30 that's going out tomorrow morning. He's going to give it a waterless wax. While he's doing that, I'm going to machine polish the Focus, because the bit that I did obviously is now very shiny compared to this quite dull paintwork here. Petey's already just given it a hoover out, actually. He's done all the interior for me. I need to wet clean the seats on it, actually, looking at it. But I'm going to get on and polish it first, I think. Seriously, everyone, I know I've shouted this out before, but this new Pro XL, the Pro XL Pro Cut Extreme Compound, is without a shadow of a doubt, the best I've used so far, along with their hard pad here. I always swore by 3M, which is still good stuff, but only does light scratches and you have to go over and over again. This stuff, bang, I went across the lip of the boot here. This had really quite bad scratching all the way along it in the lacquer. And I just zipped across it a couple of times with the Pro XL, and it's blooming lovely. It just speeds up the process so much. Yeah, another great product from those guys. I would say I'll put a link down below, but I don't know if I've got a link for it. I'm just showing it out because it's bloody brilliant. So here's our other subscriber car. After purchasing Vitara yesterday, purchased this today, which is the Toyota Yaris Hybrid, with only 26,000 is it, I think, on a 67 plate. Nice looking little car, really clean inside and out. Oh, it's locked at the moment. Yeah, really clean, obviously automatic with the hybrid system. Running around the yard here, it was just in the battery mode on it. I guess the only slight detractor on it is this rear bumper. The chap had it sprayed by a firm, and they've got the colour off. It looks worse on camera than it does in real life, but in real life it's really quite, well, I guess it's not obvious to everybody because he said he didn't really notice, but I spotted it straight away. So I think in reality that will have to be painted. Because it'll look, in the photos it's not gonna look good at all, is it? So we need to get that off and get that painted up. But yeah, really nice little car. Lovely couple of gents came down. And yeah, just massive thanks again for thinking of me when it came to selling the car. It's really supportive of me and the business when people give me the opportunity to give them a price on their car. and then get it down here like this. I mean, we can pick them up. The trouble with picking them up is I just can't pay as much money because transport costs are so expensive. It's about £50 an hour, and obviously I have to then factor that out of the deal. And if you then go somewhere local to you, you're going to get that extra bit of money back, hopefully. So yeah, we can't always do a deal, but I appreciate everybody thinks of me and gives me the opportunity to give a price. If you are thinking, by the way, you can do it off the website. You can message me on Instagram, you can email me, whatever you find easiest. Telephone's not so great because I'm always running around the place, but if that's the way you want to do it, by all means do. You just obviously have to go off and do research on the pricing, so I wouldn't really be able to give you an answer on the phone anyway, so best to fill in the form ideally. Focus is all tucked up after it's polished. I've got to do a wet clean on the interior and then give it a final wax, but the paint has come out lovely. All over the car's come out really nice now. Excuse me. Focus, focus, focus. The Jeep is inside because it's had its inspection. So 2 gentlemen came along and did the inspection for the lady. She hired them off of some website somewhere, and then they book someone local. So a young lad came along with his dad, I think it was. And they had a good crawl around the car and drive about and all that kind of good stuff. Really nice chaps. I was obviously quite concerned that they were going to send somebody along who looks at nearly new cars all the time, but they were quite like into classics and quite enthusiastic about this kind of thing themselves. And they said it was a good, solid car. Their only concerns were they were concerned that this is sagging a bit and it fills with water. And I said, well, it is what it is. There's an old hood, it's sagging. And they suggested maybe putting a bar across to lift that section up. And they said, is that something you do? I said, no, not really. I said I wouldn't get involved in that. I said if she wants to chip me a little bit to have that done, by all means she can. And the other thing was, they reckoned that underside could do with a wire brush down the paint, which we knew because I'd said in the advert that I photographed, because I took loads of photographs of the underneath and put them on the advert because I knew it's the first question somebody asked. But I also knew that if I just coated in Waxol, people would assume I covered something, so I thought I left it as it is and said in the advert I would Waxol it if they wished us to. The only slightly concerning thing was, I didn't know what they were going to say in the report back to the lady, because they said you could do wire brushing down, and they said, you know, to do it properly, what you want to do is get the body off of the chassis, and then you could do the SOP side of it, and then you could strip down the other bits and paint those as well. And I was like, okay, lads, that sounds like you're asking me to restore the car. And, you know, obviously, we can wire brush the chassis down, and we can give it a coating of paint, but to take the body off of a 5995 car, to take the body off, strip all the components down, clean and paint it, is something you'd probably be paying, you know, you'd be paying the same money again to a company to do that, wouldn't you? So it's just not realistic. If someone wants to go away and do that with the car, you crack on. That's the thing with sort of classics and modern classics, is my mindset with them is always is never to go crazy on them. Get them good run and driver and safe, and then the next person can decide how far they want to take it from that going forwards. And yeah, so that's my mindset with it. We can't, if you know, you wouldn't be able to do what they were suggesting there without then having to refurbish all of the alloys, put a new hood on it, do all the paint on it, do all the bumpers on it, everything, and then try and get back 20 grand out of it or something. So yeah, that was a bit like, it's not realistic though, is it, guys, for us to do that? Then, oh no, it's just that would be the proper way of doing it. So, well, yeah, absolutely would be, but it's not something that can be done, is it? Anyway, so they went away. They must have given a fairly favourable report, because she came back to me pretty much straight away and said, yes, I'd like it, as long as you can get the underbody done. She did want it by Christmas, and it's now the 21st. And I said, that's never going to happen, because we've got to get a new MOT on it. And I said, if I could tell you within sort of 24 hours I'd done all that on the underside, you'd assume that I'd done half a job of it. So, and I'd like to do that here as well, rather than just send it down the road. I'd like me and Petey to tackle that and make sure it's done proper, because obviously a garage is doing it on time. They're probably just going to cover it with the Waxol. I want to go and wire brush it all down first. You then need to get it to Wales for her. She wants it transported. Now this is a very interesting one as well, because I said in the group chat with the lads, I said, oh, it's a distance sale, and I don't like doing distance sales. And I said, so I'll be sitting on my chair corner for flipping on the edge of my chair for 14 days to see what happens. And they said, no, that doesn't count. They said, it's not a distance sale, because she sent 2 representatives down to look over the vehicle and give a report back on it. So the vehicle has been seen, so it's not a distance sale. I'm not sure how that stands up. I'd be interested to know if anybody in the know can tell me underneath. I'm sure lots of people have got an opinion on it, but whether anybody knows for a fact or not that's the case. Yeah, so it's got to go up to Wales. I mean, one thing I will be doing is I always do the invoice for the transportation separately to the car, because if you put the if you build it into the value of the car, if they do return it, then they get 100% of all the invoices. So if I said the car was £6,000, just to make easy number, £6,000 plus £300 delivery, 6,300, and I did the car at 6,300 in the invoice, and she returned it, I have to refund her 6,300. I have to refund her. So I would actually lose out on the transport because she chose to buy it from there, not from me, and I'd end up being down £300 on transportation. So I always do the invoice separately, because there's the car being sold, and then there is the service of delivering the car. When the service of delivering the car has been done, that's non-refundable because that service has been done. And then, like I say, it'd only be the refund of the vehicle, if all that makes sense. Which is why I don't like distant sales in the first place. But I wonder if that's going to be our last sale of the year, because I intend on shutting down soon. So that may well be the last sale of the year, but we have got someone coming to look at the Antara today as well. And I've sold cars on Christmas Eve. So I'm sure lots of other dealers out there have, and December's not been a bad month, to be honest. It's ticked along quite nicely. A lot of people write it off completely, but I've done as many cars as I have any other month, really. A nice thing is I've got a good amount of stock prepped going into January as well, so I will, I'll be able to hit the ground running in January as well, hopefully. Now, as this video goes out, we're going to be going to the last few days that you can enter the raffle for this lovely little Toyota MR2. Or you can instead choose to have the Fiat Barchetta, which I can't show you. I'm going to point to the Jaguar instead, because it is down with the guys at Motorworks. They just went on a genuine Fiat rocker cover gasket just to stop it leak on the rocker cover. They've done a full flush of the petrol tank on it now, put it all fresh through on it, taken it for a long test drive, and it's driving beautiful. So that's the last step with the Barchetta before it comes back here again. We're just obviously ironing out the niggles from that being a mega low mileage. What's our Barchetta? 19,000 miles? No, 11,000 miles. 11,000 miles on the Fiat Barchetta. I'm going to put an image up on the screen. But it's been stood for a while, so we've had to put all new tyres all round and just work through the things that happen from a car sitting. The little Toyota here is another low mileage. It's only 52,000 miles on this one, I think it is. 50 odd thousand miles. Cracking little car, or you can choose to have £5,000 cash instead of either of the cars. And we are supporting Sophie's Legacy, as we always support a charity we reach the raffle, and that is the charity that supports families that have children in hospital. So you better hurry if you want to get involved, because it is going to end soon. The system will automatically draw the winner. It's a guaranteed draw. We don't have a minimum number of ticket sales on it. It's guaranteed it'll happen, whatever. And the system will automatically draw the winner and notify them via email. Best of luck with that. And remember, we've also got a load of second, third and fourth prizes of top-on and diagnostics equipment as well. So there's really good odds for winning something. As always, thanks for watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. And if there isn't another one before Crimbo, have a great Christmas.